Hey everyone, I'm Karen, and this is my raised garden bed. I made it myself out of repurposed materials. I was pretty pleased with the results. I love it. If you'd like to see how I made this, I will put a link in the description to a video I made at the time. But before you go and watch that, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you 3 things that I did hugely wrong, which have ultimately led to me getting ready to disassemble this and use the parts for other things. The first thing I did wrong was the location. If you've got a garden bed and you want to grow veggies, you need to get at least 6 to 8 hours of full sun every single day. And I knew this, but I didn't want to build a garden bed in the middle of the grassy section. I like having a lawn, I like open space, I like mowing the lawn. And I said, no, it's fine. I'll put it against the fence, it'll look good, it'll work. I knew that it wouldn't get much sun in winter, and I told myself, no, it'll be okay. In winter, I'll just plant things that don't need a lot of sun. I'll plant, low sun, high shade veggies. It'll be right. It wasn't right. In winter, it's in shade all day long. And in summer, it's the complete opposite, because the sun comes from that direction, comes straight overhead, and this whole side of the yard gets the full force of the steaming hot western sun every single afternoon. So in winter, it's like the Arctic, and in summer, it's like a desert. Don't make that mistake. Always put your garden bed in a spot where you're going to get 6 to 8 hours of sun every day. Don't make excuses. If you can't locate it in that position, don't make it. Simple. The second thing I did wrong was underestimating just how much it's going to take to fill a box of that size. You need a lot of stuff to fill a box this size. My original plan was to fill it with logs, cut off stumps, and big branches. But it didn't happen that way, because every time I saw an ad for people who have cut down trees and had logs that they wanted to get rid of, the log was either too big for me to move, wouldn't fit in my car, couldn't afford to pay someone to go and do it, and even if it was accessible and close by, it was already gone by the time I got around to it. Do you know how many people are chasing logs for their gardens? You wouldn't believe it, but there's a lot. So I relied on what I had. I used all the trimmings and all the prunings from the trees in the garden. I used all of my own compost from in the house, all the lawn clippings, anything I could find, I'd put it in there. But it still wasn't enough, because even though it might be filled up to here with fresh branches and leaves, they dry out, they mulch down, it rains, and the next thing you know, the whole garden bed is empty again. Mistake number 3 kind of ties in with mistake number 2, in that I should have made sections in the garden itself. If I had divided this into sections with a barrier all the way from top to bottom, I would have been able to fill a section at a time. It would have been faster and easier, and in the long run it would have made more sense, because not all of your veggies and plants are going to need the same amount of water. So I could have had water-loving plants in the one section and the ones who liked least water in the other section. But I didn't think of that at the time, which is crazy, because I actually have had a garden bed, a veggie garden, in the past. And yeah, that one failed as well. So I'm getting ready to build a new one, so 3rd time lucky. So yeah, I should have known better. Tip number 3, definitely put sections in your garden bed. So I have learnt from my mistakes. I'm about to get ready to do my 3rd attempt at a raised bed. I'm going to dismantle the one I've got, and on this cleared dirt section here, I'm going to build a new raised bed. I'm going to be using sleepers next time, not the corrugated iron. And the old bed hasn't been a complete waste of time, because all of the material that I've been feeding into this for the last 18 months has composted down. And underneath this, I'm going to have some amazing compost worms already in place. This is beautiful. And it smells so good. So not only have I got on hand an amazing supply of beautiful, wonderful smelling, deliciously yummy compost, I'm also going to be able to use these screws. When I disassemble this, I won't throw all of the parts away, and these screws especially, I will be able to reuse them. So it's going to be one less cost connected to the new bed. So they are my top 3 tips of things that you need to think about if you're building a raised garden bed. Make sure you get the location right, make sure you can fill it, and divide it into sections to make it easier to fill and to keep your different veggie needs separate. Of course, there are other things to consider, like what sort of materials do you want to use, how big do you want it to be, depending on your abilities and your climate. But really, I think those 3 things are the big issues that can't be forgotten, or in my case, ignored. So if you're a beginner gardener and you're thinking about having a go at building your own raised garden bed and growing some veggies in your own backyard, subscribe to my channel and follow along and learn with me, because I am going to build a new bed, get rid of this bed, I'm going to grow my own veggies. I'm not a complete beginner. I've made mistakes in the past, so at least I've got a little bit of an idea of what not to do. So now from here on, I want to learn what to do. I hope to see you again soon. If you've got any questions, let me know. Join me for the fun, and hopefully together we can learn to grow our own veggies. See you next time.